Hello and welcome to Baby and Me Yoga. Take the time to set yourself up, set up your baby, and just know that this class is all about adaptability. So tending to your baby when needed, including your baby in your practice, or letting them hang out next to you if that's where they're content. So just like life, daily life as a parent, we go with the flow. We adapt, we accept, and we breathe. So you can lay a blanket out for your baby, maybe place some toys there, or maybe you'd really like to hold and connect with your baby. I'll be demonstrating ways to do that throughout the class. So setting yourself up in your restorative pose, checking out my stories under Baby and Me Yoga if you're not quite sure how to do this, and just lying down. Maybe you're holding your baby, placing some support under your neck, and letting your head feel nice and heavy. Finding a comfortable position for your legs. Having your knees bent can help support your low back. Although if you're comfortable, you can straighten out your legs, or you can bring your legs into butterfly pose. You could always take blocks or blankets or pillows, place them under your legs for support. Or maybe you bring your legs into an internal rotation. This is when we walk our feet away from each other, and then we let our knees tip in towards each other. Now, if it's really comfortable, you're not experiencing any sensation in your knees, you can walk your feet further away from each other, rolling onto the inner edges of your feet and letting the outer edges come off of the floor will help protect your knees. So if you are feeling anything in your knees or you have sensitive knees, then I recommend rolling onto the inner edges. And if you still feel any sensation in your knees, try walking your feet further away from your body or closer towards your body, finding the right spot. If you still feel sensation in your knees, then just do one at a time. And only if this feels good. Your body might not be ready for this type of rotation for the hips. So only if it feels good, maybe the rocking feels nice. So just settling into your restorative posture here. Maybe you gently slide your shoulder blades down your back, letting your arms rest at your sides, or maybe you're holding on to your baby. You can have your palms facing up to help open up the chest. And notice, is your neck relaxed? Or is your neck still holding on to the weight of your head? See if you can just let go of the weight of your head. Maybe gently turning your head from side to side, heavily on your bolster or your pillow, letting your face relax, letting your jaw relax. Maybe you even bring your fingertips to the back of your jaw at your TMJ and you create some circles. And as you connect with your jaw here and encourage your jaw to relax, see if you can connect with your pelvic floor. Maybe you notice that your pelvic floor is tight. Can you let it relax? Maybe you have no idea, and maybe you're just going there in your mind's eye. And our jaw and our pelvic floor are very connected energetically. So as you relax your jaw, see if you can relax your pelvic floor. Settling in, softening your face, closing your eyes, softening your forehead, in between your eyebrows, relaxing all of the muscles around your eyes and feeling like your eyeballs are sinking into their sockets, softening your nostrils, your cheeks, separating your teeth, softening your jaw, softening your throat, opening your throat, and feeling the subtle flow of your breath, gently traveling in through your nose and out through your nose or your mouth. Connecting with this cycle, this rhythm of your breath, and over time beginning to deepen your breath, inviting in more air as you inhale and letting out more air as you exhale. And really take your time on your exhale. So your exhale is longer than your inhale. Some people like to count their breath, so perhaps you'd like to try that. You could inhale to the count of 4, exhale to the count of 6. As you inhale, feel the space that you're creating in your body. Feel your rib cage expand open. And as you exhale, feel that natural contraction as you let out your air, letting your body soften as you exhale, allowing a release. Maybe you let out a sigh. If you like, you can take a pause at the top of your inhale, maybe for the count of 2, if you like to count your breath. You can inhale to the count of 4, pause for the count of 2, exhale to the count of 6, inhale to the count of 4, exhale for 2, hold for 2, and exhale for 6. So only if you like the counting breath, and maybe the numbers are different for you. You can visualize your breath, inhaling light, inhaling space, inhaling this present moment, and exhaling to send that light flushing all throughout your body, dancing throughout your body, through every limb, to the tips of your fingers, your toes, wrapping around your skull, creating space in between your skull and the scalp of your head. You can feel like your scalp is gently lifting off of your skull. Maybe bringing a smile to your face. So just spending this time here with your breath, using any tools that help you. Setting the intention here to have 0 expectations. To go with the flow, to listen to your body, listen to your baby, letting your baby guide you, letting your body guide you, your breath, and knowing you can always pause the video, set yourself up in this position or a different restorative position to feed your baby, to tend to your baby. You can always come back to your breath and come back to the present moment, which is doing yoga. Breathing, being still, and feeling the movement in your body that your breath alone creates. As you inhale, feeling your diaphragm press down, creating a massage for your organs as your belly rises. As you exhale, the belly naturally comes in, the diaphragm lifts up as you let your air out. So feeling this, inhale, your rib cage expands in all directions, to the front side of your body, to both sides of your body, to the back of your body. Your rib cage expands, and as you exhale, feel it all naturally and gently contract in to let out every last bit of air without force. Staying relaxed in your shoulders, your face, your jaw, your neck, your hands, your feet. Noticing how everything's relaxed and soft. And bringing your awareness back to your pelvic floor. And notice as you exhale, can you feel your pelvic floor naturally engage and lift? And as you inhale, can you feel it naturally and ever so subtly relax? So just notice if you feel that, and if you don't, that's totally okay and super common. So as you exhale, can you feel your pelvic floor engage, like it's engaging and lifting your breath up and out of your body? And as you inhale, it's relaxing to create more space for your breath as your diaphragm presses down. So inhale, pelvic floor reaches down, relax, soft. Exhale, engages, lifts. And now maybe you're consciously creating that engagement and that relaxation, which is awesome as long as it feels good and you feel ready. And as long as you can do it in a way where you can focus on the transition. So if you're trying this and it's just like contract, release, then maybe come back to this exercise another time. But if you can slow down the transition and it feels good, then that's awesome. And if you can't, be kind to yourself and know that you are not alone, and that's so common even if you haven't just had a baby. So trying your best to slow down that transition between contracting and relaxing. And maybe this isn't working for you and you just come back to breathing, feeling your rib cage expand as you inhale and naturally contract as you exhale, feeling your body soften as you exhale. Maybe you come back to visualizations. Breathing, turning inward. If you can, bring your hands to your belly, just below your button, imagining a bright orange light here. Connecting with this area, your reproductive organs, your creativity channel. I am a creator, bringing life and purity into this beautiful, crazy world. I have faith and trust in divine timing. Knowing we are safe and protected, we are wrapped up and shielded by love. I honor and appreciate my body for what it has been through, and more importantly, where it is now. Like the moon, I cycle and go through phases, but I am always whole. And if you can, bring your hands to your heart and connect with your heart, imagining a vivid green light. I am a nourisher. I nourished my baby when they were cradled in my womb, and I will continue to nourish my baby throughout life. Nourishment comes easily and effortlessly, but I must remember to nourish myself. When I love and care for myself, I am loving and caring for my baby, my family, and everyone in my life. When I am in a state of peace, I spread peace. Gently bringing movement back into your body, wiggling your fingers and toes, rotating your wrists, your ankles, giving your baby a squeeze, a kiss, a stroke. Finding any movement that comes naturally. Maybe you rock your legs from side to side, coming into twisting motions. If it feels good for your neck, you can turn your head in the opposite direction of your legs. Matching your movement with your breath. You can exhale your legs over to one side. Inhale to bring them back to center. Exhale to the other side. Or anything that feels good. Any movement, any stretch. Or maybe you're tending to your baby. Good. Really nice. So whenever you are ready to, you can come up to a seat. Now we're going to be using our bolster, couch cushion, pillows or blankets, whatever you've got. So if you have extra stuff, just clearing it off of your mat. But you might like to have another pillow handy for your neck. We're going to come onto our hip on one side, bringing our bolster right in close to our hip. So it's touching. And then we just drape ourselves over. And we're gonna come into some clamshells. You can have your baby in front of you here. And you can tickle your baby, make faces. Maybe you've got some toys or some bells. Now we wanna make sure that our feet are about in line with our bottom. Just so they're not too far forward or too far back. And our hips are in line with the rest of our body too. So we're pretty straight. You can have your hand supporting your head, or you can grab onto a pillow. Your other hand maybe on your baby, maybe on your hip, wherever. And we're just going to start to lift our knee up and then lower it back down. Now breathing, you might choose to exhale to lift your leg, inhale to lower, or vice versa, or try both ways. As long as you're breathing. And notice what's engaging. And even if it's just super gentle, or maybe you barely feel anything engaging, that's okay. Usually as we do this for a while, we start to feel it. But we're targeting our gluteus medius, which is one of our main stabilizing muscles for our pelvis, knees, and ankles. So it's a very important muscle to be strong so we can support our pelvis, especially having gone through pregnancy and birth. Sometimes we can have some instability in our pelvis and in our hips. So if this is really easy, then you can straighten out your knee and lift your leg up to the side. But you want it to be tracking in line with the rest of your body. But I mean, you can play around. You can bring it to the front and to the back. As long as you're not feeling any strain in your low back and you're feeling the strengthening coming from the glute med. You might feel your quads working a little bit too, especially if your quads like to fire. But see if you can turn this on. Turn on your side bum and breathe. Now, something to watch for after having a baby, we'll want to open up our rib cage and let our belly hang a little bit, which is totally fine and normal and natural. And we don't really want to push ourselves too much and be trying to squeeze everything in. But just notice maybe a very gentle hug of your low belly in feels good and feels supported. Good, so whatever it is you're doing, we'll take a few more deep breaths. Good. All right, and we can relax. Do whatever you need to do to switch sides. Maybe, or before switching sides, you can find some neck rolls, some shoulder rolls, some twisting motions, maybe a few rounds of cat-cow, maybe you're tending to your baby. But I always like to take my time before switching sides and find some intuitive movement. So there's no rush. Whenever you're ready, you can set yourself up for the other side. So we bring our bolster in nice and close and we drape ourselves over. And I think I need to move over a little bit so you can see my face. Good, so making sure your feet are in line with your bottom, your hips are in line with your upper body, you're fairly straight. Good. Something else to watch for is that you're not, tipping forward or back. Good. Make sure your head is nice and comfortable, your shoulder, your baby's good. My baby's rolling away from me. How is that happening, eh? You're not mobile yet. So finding some clamshells and breathing. And once again, you might not feel a whole lot happening here, and that's fine. You're still gonna have muscles working. And especially if you can go to your glute med in your mind's eye, connect with that area, maybe even squeeze it. Can you squeeze it? Can you use these muscles here on your side bum to lift your leg? Maybe a very, very gentle hug of the low belly in. And after a few rounds, if it's still really easy, you are welcome to find a straight leg. As long as it feels good, there's no strain in your low back. And notice, can you engage your glute med? My quads just want to fire. And I prefer the clamshells because I feel like I can control where the engagement is coming from. And I can really focus on using my glute meds. My quads just love to fire. So I'm just a huge fan of, for my body, based on my history, what I've gone through, I've done a lot of overstretching. So for me, what really works is finding very gentle strengthening exercises and then isolating the muscles that should be engaging for these exercises. And that's really helpful for me. And I also believe that it's a really good way to go after having a baby. It's really easy to push yourself too far, and you've got all the time in the world to strengthen your body. So take it slow, breathe, enjoy this time with your baby. And just finding, these sweet moments where you can work on your body, but know that there's no rush. All right, so we'll finish up here. Do whatever you want to do, anything that comes naturally. I feel like I really want to do a twist after that. And that one, the clamshells, is a really great one to do like any time. Like I do it when I'm hanging out with my toddler and we're playing on the floor. I'll just lie on my side and do some clamshells. Great. So from here we're going to clear our area. Although if you do have a block, then you can use your block. And if you don't have a block, then you can use a pillow, but you might not use either. And we're going to come into our bridge pose. So for this one, you can very easily include your baby into this, but if they're happy just chilling next to you, then I would just leave them and just focus on yourself. But do whatever you want. You can have your baby lying on you this way, or if they can sit up, they're a little older, you can have them sitting like this. Now we're going to make sure that our knees are hip distance apart and our ankles are underneath our knees. You can hold on to your baby if you have them on you. If not, then you can bring your hands down to your sides with your palms facing down. And I like to take a moment to shuffle my shoulder blades down my back. Press into the four corners of your feet. See if you can lift your arches up. And if you'd like to, you can take your block or your pillow and place them in between your legs. I like to place them below my knees, so I'm not squeezing my knees together. I find that pressure doesn't feel very nice. So I place them in between my thighs, below my knees. We'll be coming into some bridge sequences. So our flowing bridge. We'll start by taking a deep breath in. And as you exhale, press into your feet and start to slowly lift your hips up. And as you lower, we'll take a deep breath in. So we're exhaling to lift and inhaling to lower. Going nice and slow and at your own pace. You can curl your spine back onto your mat as you lower down. And you can uncurl your spine off of your mat as you lift up. So curling your spine, each vertebra at a time, back down onto your mat. So your pelvis is the last to come down. And then exhale to lift your pelvis and uncurl your spine off of the floor. Squeeze your block. If you're not using a block, imagine you have something between your legs and you're squeezing it. So you're engaging your leg muscles. We're pressing into our feet and we're of course engaging our glutes. We relax our face, our jaw, our neck, our shoulders. And see if you can incorporate your pelvic floor into the mix here. But you don't have to, but just see, try. As you exhale and lift, see if you can engage your pelvic floor. Squeeze your pelvic floor, lift your pelvic floor, think of a Kegel. And as you inhale to lower, see if you can relax your pelvic floor. And I recommend only doing this if, again, you can focus on the transition. So if you try doing this and it's just like engage, relax, and there's no transition between the two, then I suggest trying that another time when you're not physically moving your body. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. So we're exhaling to engage our pelvic floor as slowly as we can. So working on that transition. And then inhale to relax the pelvic floor as slowly as we can. If it feels good, you can hold your bridge at the very top, squeezing your block, pressing to your feet. Take one deep breath in. And exhale, slowly curl your spine back on the floor. And do whatever feels good. You can rock your legs from side to side. You can squeeze your knees in towards your chest. Good. And don't be hard on yourself if the connection with your pelvic floor feels like it's not there. Or if what's happening, as I mentioned, you're inhaling or exhaling and engaging and it happens so quick, and then you're inhaling and relaxing and it happens so fast and there's no transition. That's okay, and I'm going to post a video on that connection, but the reason why I'm suggesting not to do that during our practice today is just because it can be so hard to know if our pelvic floor is too tight or too weak. And I don't have any connection with you, any way of communicating with you to ask you how it's feeling or anything like that. And I just want to keep you safe. But when we can focus on the transition and when we are breathing with that transition, then it is very safe. And it's a way of balancing your pelvic floor, whether it's too tight or too loose. But saying that, if you do have anything severe, then I highly recommend seeking out a pelvic floor physiotherapist, specialist. I'm going to show you a picture here, the pelvic floor. So as you can see, there's lots of muscles involved. And it's very much a diamond shape. You can also think of it as like a hammock. So in another video that I'll be posting, we will get a little bit deeper into ways to engage the pelvic floor. But with our class today, with this moment right now, just know that you're doing great, and all that matters is that you're taking the moment right here, right now, to connect with your pelvic floor, even if it's just, looking at this picture and imagining that on your own body, going there in your mind's eye, and know that you're not alone if you don't feel anything happening there. It's totally fine, and you're doing an amazing job. Okie dokie. So with our bridge pose, that's another great one to do to help stabilize the pelvis. And I just want to quickly show you something that you can do in your own practice with bridge pose, you can lift your hips up all the way and then slide some support underneath. You can straighten out your legs if it feels good. And you want your hip bones to be pointing up, so you know you're too high if this is feeling all congested, and you know you're too low if you're feeling strain in your low back. So you want to find a happy middle. And that's a great one to do to help decompress the sacrum, which is our 5 fused vertebrae that sit in our pelvis, at the base of our spine, that sits in our pelvis, that can get pretty jammed up, especially when we're sitting a lot. So as new moms, sitting with our babies a lot and scooping under, and that's a great one to do. Now, listen to your body when you do that. If you are on the looser side like me, maybe you still have relaxin in your, or the relaxin hormone in your body, then you don't want to do that one for too long, because you don't want to create any instability for your pelvis and create too much length in your low back. So that's why I'm giving you this exercise to do on your own, because everybody's different in what they need. So if you find that you're really tight here and you come into that restorative pose and it feels really good, and you come out and it feels really good, and throughout the rest of the day it feels good, the next day it feels good, then you know that that's a really good thing for you to be doing. And you can do it for up to 5 minutes. But if you do it and you come out and you're like, ooh, my low back hurts, or I don't feel supported, then you know that might not be something you want to do, or it might not be something you want to do for too long. All right, so enough chatting. Let's get back into some poses here. So we're going to come up to a seat, and you can use a pillow, a block, your bolster, your couch cushion, whatever you like as a seat. And we're just going to bring some movement into our body. You can hold your baby if you'd like, have them on your lap. Now, when I find a seated position, I find it so helpful to have a cushion or something under my bum, so I can scooch to the front edge, and just that little bit of height underneath my sit bones helps to tilt my pelvis forward ever so slightly, so I can sit up tall with ease. So you might like to play around with that too. And we're going to come into some side bending poses. So sitting up tall with your spine, feeling length at the back side of your neck. So we're not dropping our head forward. We find a nice neutral place for the head, where the head feels light, and we're lifting up tall. We relax the shoulders, and notice, as I mentioned, sometimes after having a baby, we can open up and overarch the low back. So just notice, can you hug your rib cage in just a little bit? But notice, do your shoulders want to round forward when you do that? Maybe you ever so slightly squeeze your shoulder blades together. So we have a very gentle hug in of the belly. We bring the rib cage in and ever so gently squeeze the shoulder blades together. So we might feel our body working a little bit to have a nice tall posture, but we don't want to be creating strain or stress. We still want to feel nice and soft in our body. And feeling a sense of acceptance and love, and feeling kindness towards your body and where it is today. We can place one hand on our baby, or it can come onto the ground, and the other arm is going to reach up as we inhale. And as we exhale, we ground that opposite sit bone as we very gently lean over to the side, peeling this top shoulder down and back, so feeling it gently squeeze to your spine. And maybe your arms more so down here, and that's fine, or maybe you can reach it all the way. And taking some deep breaths into this side. So we're grounding this opposite sit bone, so we're not lifting up. And we're also trying not to crunch this side either. We'll take one more deep breath. On your next inhale, we'll lift back up. And exhale to soften. Good, we'll come into the other side. So as I mentioned, we don't want to crunch this side. Think of creating length with both sides of your body, or all sides of your body, I should say, and then tip over. So we'll inhale to extend, and exhale to gently tip, grounding the sit bone, and breathing into the side. Peeling the shoulder back and down, gently squeezing it to your spine. Finding a comfortable place for your head. Your gaze can look down, or maybe it looks up. Good, one more deep breath. On your next inhale, we'll rise, and exhale to relax. Now we're going to continue with this as a flow. So finding a pace that feels good in your body and matching your movement with your breath. So an example of this is you inhale to reach up, exhale to side bend, inhale to reach up, exhale to relax, inhale to lift, exhale to bend, inhale to reach, exhale to relax. Continuing at your own pace, grounding both of your sitting bones into the earth as you move. Maybe a very gentle hug of the belly in, just ever so gently to engage your core muscles. Staying soft through the face, maybe bringing a smile into your face, your beautiful shining face. And feeling the movement and the fluidity. Opening up your side bodies, opening up each side of your rib cage. We'll do just a few more rounds here. Beautiful. All right. So from here, we'll just change positions of our legs. So just switch up your crisscross applesauce. You could always find a different position with your legs. Good, and we'll just bring some movement into our shoulders. We'll inhale our shoulders to our ears and exhale them back and down. Inhale up, exhale back and down, letting it go. Good, inhale to gather energy, exhale to release. Good, we'll switch directions. Softening your face, your jaw. Beautiful. Really good. We'll bring in some gentle movement for our neck, bringing our ear towards our shoulder. Taking a couple deep breaths here. Maybe you reach your other arm out to the side. Softening your face and jaw. It might feel good to gently lift and tuck your chin. Both shoulders are relaxed here. And the opposite shoulder, we're creating a very gentle pull down and away to create extra length. You can match your movement with your breath. Just working out that lovely neck of yours, connecting with where you feel a pull. We'll gently bring our nose towards our shoulder. And it might feel good to, again, lift and tuck your chin. We'll slowly roll our head to the other side, maybe reaching the opposite arm out to the side. And just finding some gentle movement that feels good. Lifting and tucking the chin. It's 7 o'clock, so you can hear our neighborhood going crazy. Thank you from some deep breaths, and we'll bring our nose in the direction of our shoulder. Relaxing the face, the jaw, staying with your breath, connecting with where you feel a pull. In another Baby and Me class, we will do a lot of restorative poses for the neck, because as new moms, we'll find ourselves looking down at our babies a lot, and then also just carrying our babies, and when our head hangs forward, our neck needs to work so much harder. Really, if our head was neutral, we'd be working with gravity, but a lot of the times that isn't the case, and that's fine. It's all good. That's why we're here, working out the kinks. Good. We'll gently roll our head to the other side, and just continuing with these forward head rolls, letting your face soften, your jaw, relaxing your shoulders. And it might feel good to do full circles without cranking your head all the way back. So as you lift your head up and back, feel like, or imagine like there's a tennis ball at the back side of your neck. Just so we don't crank the neck. And we'll switch to the other direction. Stillness. Do whatever feels good. Maybe some more motions for your head. Maybe you roll out your wrists. We'll have a wrist class. Well, it will be tied in with other things, but we'll focus more on the wrists in another class too, because sore wrists be very common with new moms. So during pregnancy sometimes we can get carpal tunnel syndrome, and then it might go away, but it might not. I know I went through a lot of weaknesses with my wrists when my baby was new, and I will share with you what works for me. I need to work on it a little bit more, because they definitely aren't perfect. Oh no, they're perfect. I love you, wrists. I love you. You're wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, wrists. What would we do without our wrists? Without our neck? Without our body? Just feeling grateful for your body. And if you are the creator of your baby, just recognizing how amazing your body is. If you aren't the creator of your baby, still recognizing how amazing your body is and how amazing your baby is, and whoever created your baby, how amazing they are. Life is just crazy, wonderful, beautiful, miraculous. Good. Now from here we'll come on to our hands and our knees. So if you have sensitive knees, you can use a folded up blanket, you can double up your mat. I've got a nice thin pillow that works. And speaking of wrists, when we come onto our hands and our knees, I'm going to get into the nitty-gritty details of how we want to distribute our weight in our hands to keep our wrists safe, but also to strengthen them. This is one of the tips that I'll be giving you later on in how I helped my wrists to stay strong. But saying that, they will get sore with this activation, but listen to your body. If it's too much, you can grab onto your bolsters, stack of blankets, whatever, and come onto your elbows. Or you could even be straight up on the ground on your elbows, as long as it feels good. Alrighty, so we're on our hands and knees. Now our knees are directly under our hips, so hip distance apart, and our wrists are directly under our shoulders, shoulder distance apart. We make sure our belly isn't dropping. Now, I mean, after having a baby, there might be some sagginess going on. Beautiful, wonderful, your body's amazing. Just love your body. But if you can, try not to overarch your back. Try to gently hug your belly in. So we've got our wrists under our shoulders. Our spine is long. You don't have to look at the video now, so focus on that long back side of your neck, extending the crown of your head to the front. Now take a look at your hands. Notice, are your hands straight? We create a straight line in between our index and middle finger. In between our peace fingers, we create a straight line going forward to the front of our mat and back to the middle of our wrist. And that's straight. And you'll notice your wrist crease will be straight. But I mean, every hand is different. I don't know, maybe to you, you straighten your middle finger. But from my experience, creating a line in between the two peace fingers is what's straight for most people. Now we make sure there's equal distance between all of our fingers, except for the thumbs. And we're not over stretching the space between our fingers, but they are wide. We do have our fingers spread wide, just not too wide. Now we roll our fingers so our fingernails are flat. We press into our fingertips like we're gripping the floor, and we press into all of our knuckles of our hands, especially our index finger knuckle. We also press into both sides of the heel of our wrists. So we're pressing into our fingertips, our knuckles, especially our index finger knuckle, and both sides of the heel of our wrists. Or you can think of pressing into the perimeter of your palm. And like your palm is a suction cup, see if you can lift the center of your palm while pressing into all those contact points, especially your index finger knuckle. So we're not collapsing all of our weight into our wrists, and this actually strengthens the ligaments in our wrists to help prevent and even heal carpal tunnel syndrome. If you hyperextend your elbows, please have a soft bend to your elbows. And the eyes of your elbows, you want them looking at each other or looking to the front middle of your mat. Good, we're gently hugging the belly in towards the spine. Our shoulders come down away from our ears. We're pressing into our hands. We're engaging our arms and our shoulders. You can untuck your toes and press the tops of your feet into the floor. Maybe press your shins into the floor, or have that as the goal, to bring your shins to the floor to engage your leg muscles. And take some deep breaths here. You are strong. I am strong. I am a warrior. My whole body is working here, engaging. We'll take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, curl the tailbone under, round the spine, and let the head relax down. Inhale to lift the tailbone up. Let the belly drop. Gaze can extend forward if it feels good for the neck. Exhale to tuck the tailbone under, round the spine. Inhale to lift the tailbone, drop the belly. Shoulder blades might squeeze together a little bit. Gaze extends. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the belly. Press to your hands, let the head relax. Now continue with this at your own pace, matching your movement with your breath. Maybe bringing your pelvic floor into the mix, exhaling to engage, inhaling to relax, working on that transition or not, and that's fine. Feeling the fluidity of your spine, articulating each movement, each vertebra, feeling them curl and uncurl in the this motion like a wave. I'm feeling grateful for the fluidity of your spine. We'll take just a few more rounds of breath. Good. Now whenever you're ready, you can come back to stillness. You can sit back to your feet in child's pose. If it feels good, if you prefer, you can widen out your knees. Extending your arms forward. And sinking your hips back towards the earth. And feeling the length of your spine. And taking some resting breaths here. Relaxing your face, your jaw. It might feel good to walk your hands over to the right, bringing length into the left side of your body. And then gently and slowly walking your hands to the left, opening up the right side of your body. And we'll slowly walk our hands back to center. Take another breath here. And you can use your hands to gently guide your way back to a seated position. Good. We're going to finish with a gentle twist. We're reaching our legs out in front. We will bend our left knee in and cross it over our, I'm trying to mirror you, sorry, over our right, if that's comfortable. Maybe you stay here. If it's comfortable, you can cross it over. We ground both of our sit bones into the earth. We're sitting up tall. We're trying not to overarch our low back and open up our rib cage. We gently bring that in. We'll bring our left hand behind us, tented fingers nice and close to our bum. We inhale to extend our spine and exhale to gently twist towards the left. Maybe you can wrap your arm around your leg if that's comfortable. We bring our shoulders down. You can bring your gaze over your left shoulder if it's comfortable for the neck. And take a few full breaths here. Feeling your breath, feeling any restrictions or tightness around your breath. And just trying to create space without force. We're also not cranking ourselves into the pose. We're just guiding our body into this gentle twist. We'll take one more deep breath, reaching up with our spine. And exhale to soften into the pose. Good. One more full breath in. And exhale to gently unwind. Uncross the legs, shake your legs out. And we'll come into the other side, bringing our right knee in. And then crossing it over, if that feels good. Our right hand comes behind us on our fingertips, nice and close to our bum. We ground our sit bones, we sit up tall. We perhaps gently hug the low belly in and hug the rib cage in. We inhale to create length in the spine and exhale to twist. Maybe the arm can wrap around if it feels good. We're just guiding our body into this twist. We're inhaling, creating space, and exhaling to feel softness. One more deep breath in. And exhale to slowly unwind. Do whatever feels good. Maybe you extend the legs forward. Maybe you reach for your toes, stretching the back line of tissue. And that's it for our practice. So you are welcome to come into a Shavasana. You can turn the video off, and maybe your baby's sleepy. You can cuddle with your baby or feed your baby. Honoring yourself, honoring your beautiful body, your brilliant mind, honoring your emotions, and letting your soul shine bright. Thank your baby for doing so well, and just for being a wonderful, beautiful, tiny human with a big soul, big heart. And just feeling that love exchange that you have, the love that you share with one another. Thank yourself for being here, for giving yourself the love and care that you ever so deserve. From my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you so much. Love you.